Hello, Modestas. How you doing, mate?
Yes, doing very well, thank you. How about you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, buddy. Not too bad. All the better to be speaking to you.
Thank you very much, brother. Trust me, it's always a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, it's always a nice time talking to you. So, obviously, you had a close fight at the weekend. You're going to have to help me out with the guy's name because I can't really say it properly.
Yeah, it's Michal Oleksiejczuk.
That's the one. Yeah. So it was a really close fight, and it was a bit of back and forth. In my opinion, you won the first round. The second round, you could sort of throw it up in the air. It was a close round, especially as you came on really strong in the end of it. And then the last round, it was sort of him kind of taking over a little bit because he got like the clinch positions and things like that, where the judges would see it in that favour, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for me, you would have won the fight because you had the better moments. But how did you
Yeah.
see the fight going?
I mean, when the fight was over, I thought it would go in my favor, but I wasn't sure. I mean, but I thought I landed the more, sort of crisper shots. One thing I will say is you've got to give the guy credit. He came in there, he performed. He's a tough opponent, very, very good competitor. So it's a pleasure sharing the octagon with him. It's a very respectful affair. We just got in there and got the job. So yeah, obviously, credit to him for the win. But in my honest opinion, I watched the fight back last night, and that was the first time I watched it back since the fight. Because obviously, you feel how certain things go in the fight, and then you look at it afterwards, and you might get a different interpretation. Like, I may have looked at it and thought, oh well, do you know what, maybe he did. But honestly, I don't see me losing even one round in that fight. If you saw the stats for each round, I was up on significant strikes every round. So you can't argue that, I won every round in terms of significant strikes. The first round, especially, like I rocked him in the first and I rocked him in the second. He never once rocked me. He gave me a pretty, solid body shot in the third round. I'll give him that. But outside of that, he never hurt me, to the point where it looked like it was almost going to be a finish. I landed head kicks and stuff like that. I landed, spinning back kicks. So for me, when I watched the fight back, I mean, and not being biased towards myself, I really thought I won the fight. But at the end of the day, you can say whatever you want, and I can say how I thought I won, and a lot of people, I think 19 out of 20 reporters, even a Polish site, said that I won the fight. But at the end of the day, the decision is what stands. It's what the judges said on the day. So you can't take anything away from that. So but yeah, if you're asking me who you think won the fight, I definitely feel it was towards my favor, especially in terms of you don't really see. And this is another point that I made to one of my family members and one of my friends. I said, if it was like a case of it was like a difference of 3 or 4 significant strikes over the course of the fight, I would have said, okay, fair enough, split decision. Judges can see it the way they want to. But when it's a 14 significant strike differential over the course of the whole fight, I mean, how could you not say that I won the fight? Do you know what I'm saying? So, but at the end of the day, I had a good performance. There's areas to work on, obviously improve on, but I'm also glad that I earned the respect of, the commentators as well. So at the end of the day, I know I'm going to be much better for the next fight.
Yeah, definitely. And what do you think in the fight? What do you think the judges saw to score it for him? Do you think it was the forward pressure?
I mean, look, yeah, he landed some shots on me, so you got to give him that. But yeah, I think it was just the forward pressure. A lot of people. But again, I looked at it and I was evading a lot of shots as well. So yeah, although it looked like I was just trying to get out of the way to keep my range and do certain things. So yeah, it was very hefty, his pressure. And but when I went for shots, I was landing my shots. Just like he managed to land his shots, but I blocked. So it's a very back and forth fight. Do you know what I mean? I blocked his shots, he blocked my shots. I landed some shots. Overall pick the fight, I landed more. So it's if you're judging that fight based on a octagon control and walking forward, yes, he walked forward for the majority of the fight. But if you're getting hit in the face whilst you're walking forward, is that really effective forward pressure? If there's a forward pressure with him whooping my ass and landing significant strikes, I'd say fair play to you, well done. Like, do you know what I mean? But the fact that he was, he wasn't landing all of his shots either, and I was evading that and then creating my own shots outside of it. I mean, it'd be hard to argue that I didn't win, but like I say, I'll put that behind me. It was a great. The main thing was entertaining. The main thing is that every single one of people that I asked, they said it was an entertaining fight and they really enjoyed it. And that's one of the other main things you got to look at. You can't just, obviously the result wasn't what we wanted, but the fact that I put on a performance and people looked at it in a high regard, that was a good thing for me. So I did get a lot of pluses from it. So yeah, it was a great fight. But look, credit to him. I'm just going to work on myself, work on improving the areas that I need to, and come back. And in my next fight, we're going to get a finish without a doubt.
I think like another thing about the judges, it's a kind of a grey area in the sport at the minute, where you can get hit but not necessarily take the power of that shot, rolling with the punches and stuff like this, moving out the way, or just go in the direction of the punches. And not always to the judges, they don't see that as a sort of, they see that as a point for the other guy, even though you haven't really taken the damage that was intended, sort of thing.
Yeah. They got to look at a variety of strikes as well. I think the judging criteria in general is, it needs to be universal. I think the fact that it's not consistent with each state, or it's not consistent with each board of, there needs to be a regulatory board that has the same rules for everyone, and it shouldn't be in one state you can win on this particular thing, and in another state you can win on another particular thing. I mean, even if you listen to the commentators, they all thought that I'd stolen the fight, and then afterwards it's like, oh, okay, well, it's actually went the other way, like, so it was a great event that they put on. I mean, UFC 260, they had some amazing fights on that card, so it was an absolute pleasure of mine, obviously, to be a part of such an amazing card. So like I say, I take more positive from it than anything. It's a shame not getting the win bonus, obviously. I could have argued maybe it could have been a potential fight of the night, but obviously fair play to Vicente Luque and Tyron Woodley. They put on a bit of a scrap. So
yeah, definitely.
Man, it was a crazy just a crazy night. I really do think referees need to see, like, even the shots that I landed damage. It's not like I was pity patting and landing more significant strikes. I landed damage. I really thought I rocked. This is the point that I was wanting to make. A good thing it just brushed past my head, but on the scorecards, I think most people would give me round one. Everyone gave me round two, but I mean, I went on a barrage at the end of that, especially in the middle towards that first round. I landed a head kick. I did a spinning back kick. I mean, what more could you want to win that first round? And two judges gave him the first round. So, these are all just my thoughts. But yeah, like I said, we got to just give him credit that that he won the fight. But look, a good thing is that also people are talking about it now. People are saying, "Oh, well, nah, Modestas." The amount of messages that I got about people saying, "Oh, nah, you that was a robbery and this and that," it gave me a good feeling though, because after the fight, I have to admit, straight after, I didn't feel good. I was like, "What the hell? I just lost." You know what I mean? Like it was a horrible feeling to take on. But then, me have fought my heart out and then getting bumps and bruises and then not getting the win, is a bit annoying. But then after seeing the response that I got from all the people, like not just in the media, but like all my friends, family, and people that I didn't even know, saying that they got that I've earned myself a new fan and stuff like that, it really meant a lot. And these are the moments that you live for as a fighter. So I hope to continue building on that.
Yeah, it's definitely that sort of stuff that helps bring you back up again, because it's a very tough place. People don't realise, they think they just move on to the next fight sort of thing with their fan mentality. But for you to go home and, like you said, you miss out on your win bonus, the UFC on your record, it's another loss, and all this stuff. So it's not just like move on to the next thing. It's a lot of stuff for you to process first before you've got to like move on. And these fans that do message you out of the blue that just say you won that fight, that is what brings you back up and makes you realise it's not all about just win or losing.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. It's about the entertainment factor, you know, like for like the Gladiator when he says, "Oh, you're not entertained." It's exactly the same sort of thing that goes on there. Yeah, it's just a shame to like I say, you know, when your paycheck gets cut in half,
yeah,
and you know, you got another loss on your record when you're trying to shape your career. And I know obviously you should probably, you know, I just focus on myself, and you know, you got to understand. I've really understood that everyone's journey is different. Everyone has their own different path, but you know, when you try and shape your careers around other amazing fighters, and they, you know, most of them, you know, they have four, like, you know, 3 losses or whatever, or 2 or whatever, and then you know, you got 4 losses now on your record. It's just like, I just want to go back on a massive win streak, just to you know, just to get back on a better slate in terms of my record now, you know, because I don't like losing. You know, I'm not one that's too familiar to losing either, especially after going on such a win streak. But I do feel I made massive improvements since my last fight. There, like I said, there's plenty more positives to take than there is negatives. So I just got to use that moving forward. I'm going to take a bit more time off to improve, but when I come back, it's going to be even more deadly. There's going to be things that, you know, like I said, that I brought more of those things out in that fight, and you had the next fight that literally gave me like it opened up the floodgates for me to bring more entertainment for all the fans.
Yeah, you definitely seemed a lot more relaxed with your letting your kicks go and sort of that sort of stuff. Because in the previous 2 fights, you haven't really done so much kicking as much as like straight boxing or grappling sort of. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No doubt. There's definitely going to be a lot more on show. I feel my mental state was probably the strongest. I think getting a sports psychologist was definitely a great thing for me. So shout out to Chris Lazansky. Amazing guy, helped me with that, and I literally came in there with a bulletproof mindset. So I look to go in there with that similar mindset every single fight now, and it felt great in there. It felt great to go and perform. So it was like the least amount of nerves I felt. I mean, you're always going to feel, you know, scared, nervous, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
it gives you your fight or flight, but I felt the least in terms of not being able to, like, you know how sometimes fighters they get stuck, like their muscles tighten up too much and they can't do as much. I felt much less of that. I felt the most relaxed in terms of letting my stuff go, but at the same time using that fear to give me the edge I needed. So it was good, man. And like I say, I'll use that now for the next fights to come.
And how many fights have you been working with the sports psychologist for?
Just this one.
Yeah.
Just this one. I feel I didn't feel I needed it because I always had a very strong mind going into fights. My dad always talked about how it seemed to be constantly evolving and improving. I will say this actually, that I feel like history is about to repeat itself, because last time I lost 2 in a row, I went on a massive win streak. And if you notice, that was from a step up in competition. Right here, I've had 2 losses in a row, once again, from a step up in competition. So now I feel that I've definitely opened up the required almost criteria and environment for me to go off on another massive win streak and get people talking about me again. Because people once again will go quiet, like, you know, people will go quiet, and that's fine because we're about to go and make some noise now. So, you know, I've got one more fight left on my contract, and I'm gonna explode on the scene with that fight and get me my renegotiation, because I look up to guys like, you know, Sean O'Malley and stuff like that, and Francis Ngannou, amazing champion, you know, really put the time in the graft to get to where he is. And those guys who are successful, and you know, it just proves that they do their thing on the fight scene, and then, you know, things open up for them. So that's what I'm looking to do. And you know, I feel I have the attributes to go and do big things. But I'm kind of glad. I'm glad I've had this journey, because now I feel I'm ready. I've fought now with some of the top guys. So now, like in the world, not just in Europe or anything like that, I'm in the world. So now I feel like I'm ready to correct the small little errors and then go on a massive tear. That is what I'm ready to do right now.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And obviously, you said about Sean O'Malley and Francis Ngannou. You fought that night. So did you get a chance to stay there and watch the fights, or did you watch them the day after?
Yeah, so we had to watch it the day after. Well, yes, we saw. I think we found it on the TV or something. I can't remember what it was. I remember we did watch it that night. But yeah, I mean, obviously, it was amazing performances the whole night. You know, especially the whole of the main card. Even on the prelims, they had good fights as well. So. It was just amazing to be part of such a big event. I mean, bloody hell! One thing I can say is Francis Ngannou is an absolute unit. Oh my lord! I looked at him and Stipe stand next to each other. I'm like, it's like good David and Goliath. Like honestly, Ngannou looked like a freaking beast. I mean, Stipe's big too, but Ngannou's like,
yeah, it's just different.
It's like that's like a Mike Tyson-esque type heavyweight. That, you know, like Anthony Joshua type heavyweight that you're looking at there. And yeah, he obviously fought a very methodical fight when he went in there. And I've always liked Sean O'Malley because because of his personality. I've watched his podcast and stuff like that, and just the way he is, the way that he fights, the attention that he gets. You know, those are things that I look up to, and that I want to be able to do the same for myself. So it's nice to be on a card to see people that you actually do look up to. Not to say that I want to emulate everything off of around them, but you know, the success that they're gathered, it just gives me more inspiration to gather the same sort of success.
Yeah, definitely. It's sort of like looking at not the fighter, but the blueprint they're using, taking little bits from it and seeing how you can adapt that for you.
No doubt.
Yeah, and obviously with Sean O'Malley, he looked like unbeatable in the stand-up game on Saturday. Obviously, there's areas that he's not been tested yet, like the takedown offense and them sort of things, but he looked unreal. Yeah,
he looked absolutely amazing. His striking is very crisp. Like I said, I like his style. I like the way that he fights. And you know, for a bantamweight, he just seems on another level in terms of IQ. So you know, again, that's things that, you know, that everyone can take notes from. Same where people may be able to take notes from some things that I do. I mean, I take notes from these guys as well. And yeah, how they are in the media and stuff like that, and what they're doing outside of their training and blah blah blah. It's amazing. It's interesting to see everyone else's journeys, and it's also nice to think that I'm still quite young in the game. You know, Ngannou just winning the title at 34. It's never too late. There's plenty of time to go and make a statement. So that's what I'm looking to go and do.
Yeah, you can definitely take inspiration from many people's stories. Like for example, George Masvidal, he's got double-digit losses, and he's going to be fighting for a second world title chance in like 6 months, I think it is.
Yeah, so and this is the thing, when preparation meets opportunity, and you go and capitalize, that's when good things happen for you. Jorge Masvidal, no one wanted to fight Darren Till. He stepped up, he won, and then next thing you know, goes off and does great, like reignites his career. So in this game, one fight can change your life. So let's make it my next fight is the one that's going to change my life. So these are the things I'm excited for. Every time you get any of these situations and these fights, it always brings excitement. And the first time fighting in Vegas as well was amazing. It just shows that I feel like I belong there. I feel like that's where I need to be. I've always wanted to fight in America. I want to put myself in front of the American crowd. I can't wait to fight in front of a packed arena, in front of an American crowd. That would be amazing. But the fact that I even got to fight in Vegas, got to be, you know, I got to see the MGM Grand from my hotel room and stuff like that. Go to the Performance Institute. It's amazing. I mean, look at the opportunities that I'm given. You can't say that I'm not extremely blessed, and I'm very thankful for all these opportunities.
Yeah, of course. And it's amazing that you're out there living life and exploring the world while you're doing what you love to do as well. And hopefully it's going to happen many more times in the future.
No doubt. And then we'll be able to headline a sold out crowd at the O2 someday.
Yeah, hopefully that would be amazing, wouldn't it? Down in London.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, so last question. When are you looking at getting back in there? Do you think you need a bit of time off to work on some things first before you get straight back in?
Obviously, they're going to have their own particular fights lined up. If I feel I'm ready and like I feel like I've improved, then if there's any last minute cancellations on anything, then of course I will jump on the opportunity. Sometimes, you know, opportunities don't press upon themselves straight away. So you know, if I'm going to be in there to fill in the gap, like, you know, 2-3 weeks notice, and I'm ready and I feel like I'm in the best shape possible, I'll take it. I will take it. If I feel I'm ready, that is something that I will do. But realistically, if I'm looking at for something like I'll book like for certain, I'll probably say July. So, you know, somewhere in July gives me enough time to do certain things. But look, I'm hopping back into training straight after my 10-day quarantine. And then, yeah, as soon as I get back in there, I'm just going to be working on everything that I need to work on, really, really make vast improvements in every single area of my game. And who knows, maybe I'll be able to eradicate, because I eradicated most of the mistakes that I was making from my previous fight already within the first couple of weeks of training. So, which I then just compounded on. So I really do think that even given 4 weeks of training, I'll be able to eradicate the big problems that I had in my fight. So just you know, the Baltic Gladiator 2.0 was definitely on show. But a continuation of that is going to be seen in my next fight. Like I said, I'm ready for whatever. I'm going to be prepared. I'm going to be training hard. Things are going to be a little bit more difficult. Just, you know, I think in terms of like I might need to go and do some extra things to make money and stuff. But at the end of the day, this is part of the journey. We're going to get back to that stage where we can you know, things will open up. I'm really looking to help not only myself, but, you know, my family's financial situation. I want to help some of the people that have helped me come up. And I feel like I can be that marketable guy, you know, the one that can do well. All it takes is just for me to win fights and to really show the best of my abilities. So I've given an inkling as to what that may be like in this fight. The next fight is going to be compounded. So I'm just going to work hard in silence, do my thing. Next time you see the Baltic Gladiator, he's going to be doing big, big things.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm happy to have you back on, and great talking to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, my man. Like I said, always a pleasure. And I hope you have an amazing day.
You too, mate. See you soon.